The original purpose of my writing piece was kind of like a self-reflection, and I was writing a narrative on my happy place, and only me or my family members or people that have gone to my cottage would really connect with it. And so when I went through the revising part of our writer's workshop strand, I decided to take a risk and try um, starting and ending my paper in a different way than I had originally intended to. So I added in kind of like a introduction that had like a deeper, darker, depressing tone. It was about me and school being overwhelmed by all my responsibilities, and then I find myself daydreaming and just in this really happy place. And then at the end of my piece, I posed a question to my audience, and I was hoping that by posing this question, it would get them to connect to their happy place. So the decision that I made affected my audience. So originally, I think my audience, like I said, was me or people that have been to my cottage that enjoy it. But now I think that it connects to anyone who just feels overwhelmed by their responsibilities and wants to be back in their happy place. Another change that I made or decision was that instead of talking about what I do in a day at my cottage, although I still did talk about that, I really tried to use a lot of detail that allowed my audience to feel the emotions or like how happy I am when I'm there, because I felt like that would connect to a wider range of people. As far as the writing workshop itself goes, I found myself really enjoying the drafting time because I haven't just sat down and experimented with my own writing, and it really felt like a good time to kind of reflect on both the good and the bad in my life. I also liked how we focused on a very specific skill each day because I challenged myself to be playful with that skill, but I wasn't overwhelmed by trying to create a masterpiece because I was just focusing on one little element of my paper. I felt like being playful with these different skills helped me develop my voice as a writer, which I kind of think is what Writer's Workshop is all about. The revision portion of this Writer's Workshop was eye-opening to me. My piece ended up being not at all what it started as, but I like it. And so I thought that was kind of cool to see how when you take a risk and make a change, it might end up being something that you want to keep, but there were several changes that I made that I didn't end up keeping too. So it kind of allowed me to be playful. The editing portion is something that I never found myself to be very good at, but for this, I liked it because I was able to look at I was able to look at my writing, see where it was, and see where I wanted it to go, and I was provided with the resources that I needed to make changes to make it better. I didn't feel like I was kind of lost looking to make changes. And then the publishing part was, I thought, extremely powerful because I had something to work towards. I wanted to create a great piece of writing or a piece of writing that I was proud of because I knew others would be looking at it. So as a teacher, I think that is one thing that's very important to do. I think that I want to allow my students to use Writer's Workshop time to express themselves in whatever way they choose, but I want them to be working towards something. I think that kind of sets an expectation or makes them want to be proud of their work. So I'm hoping that motivates them. Overall, I think it's very important that Writer's Workshop time is very consistent, meaning you always have that explicit writing goal. I think that the environment is crucial. You need to set up an environment where students feel comfortable and welcomed. I also think that Writer's Workshop time helps the students, the drafting portion of it, helps the students to connect not only with themselves as a writer, but with the teacher. And I think it's a very beneficial time to build that relationship, which you can use throughout the rest of the day by learning about the students' likes and interests. I think editing and revising helps the students to develop a skill and a voice in writing, which I hope will carry them throughout their lives because they're always going to be writing whether they want to or not. So overall, I just hope that Writer's Workshop develops a love or a passion within my students for writing.